Hi, my name is Grace Velez, and I am the district manager in Jacksonville. I'm going to cover how to drop down properly and how to handle the I can't afford it and I can't buy anything right now objection. I sold $260,000 in personal sales, and I'm going to show you how I do my drop down process. So make sure that you're in a place that you can take a lot of notes. Keep in mind that our closing percentage is 60%. And from that 60% of sales, half of those orders are sets and half of those orders are pieces. On average, only 1 out of 10 customers buy a homemaker. So the vast majority of your sales are going to come from the drop down process that we're going to review here. The I can afford it objection, that means that the option that you're showing them is too much for their budget. So for them, the purpose of the drop down is to find something that they feel more comfortable with. They're not saying no to you and they're not saying no to Cutco. They're saying no to that one set that you're showing them right now. The I can buy anything right now objection, just because they say that they can buy anything doesn't mean that they're not going to buy anything. Do you think that if they could get the Homemaker Plus 8 for $60, they would get it? Absolutely. So when they say that they're not going to buy anything, that means that they need to see all of their options first. Don't let that objection make you skip steps on the drop down process, because you're going to lose CPO and you're doing the customer a disservice by not dropping down slowly and showing them all the options they have as far as sets goes. I had a customer last week. Her name is Kathy Pastor. And when I was going through the closing process, she wanted the homemaker, but then she was like, oh, honey, I can't get the homemaker right now because we're going on, in 3 months, we're going to Africa for an entire month. And right now we're saving for that. And I was like, hey, Miss Jones, no problem. I just want to show you all of the options that you have. And she actually ended up getting a tray with her 5 favorite homemaker pieces. If a lot of you, if you would have been in my place and you wouldn't done that appointment, you would have done one of two things. When she told me that she couldn't buy the homemaker right now, you would have either be like, oh, okay, and you would have end up the appointment right there and just ask for recommendations, or you would have just like skipped to the one piece. So if I would have done that, she would have probably ended up buying one piece for like 60 CPO instead of 300 CPO. You see that? So what I'm going to do right now is that I'm going to do my drop down process from the homemaker all the way down to one piece. So make sure that you're in a place that you can take notes for this, right? Okay. So when you're done with the video, right, you're going to ask for the order. Mr. and Mrs. Jones, I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask you. Would you like to try out the set and get your free gift? Let's say that they're like, oh, honey, right now we can't do that. Hey, Miss Jones, no problem. Is it too much for the knives or too much for the budget? Too much for the budget? Okay. So you like Cutco. You would use Cutco, but it's too much for the budget? Okay. Let me ask you a question. If you could afford it, would you get it? Great. What I love about Cutco is that it's made for families, so we have options for all kinds of budgets. It's just a matter of finding the right one for you. Let me show you our starter sets so you have all the options. These are the starter sets. They're great for building up over time and gifts for family and friends. This is the Galley Plus 6 for people who love the homemaker, but it's too much for their budget. Here you have the paring knife for the air, the trimmer for small stuff, the special offer sandwiches, the meat knife, the serving piece, the veggie chopper, and the bread knife. And here we have the essentials and the studio, basic sets in smaller blocks, but get the job done. This one you saw in the video, but without the table knives. You actually have an option to get it with 5 table knives. You have the paring knife for the air, the spatula for sandwiches, the serving piece, the meat knife, and the veggie chopper. In here, the Studio Plus 4, you have the paring knife, the trimmer for small stuff, the meat knife, and the spatula for sandwiches. Here you have the Space Saver, which is for small kitchen, boats, campers, and RVs. You have the paring knife for the air, the 4-inch paring knife, the trimmer for small stuff, the carver, and the veggie chopper. Here you have the old knife and the kitchenette set, which have safe storage trays and are alternative to block. Here you have the paring knife for the air, the trimmer for small stuff, the spatula for sandwiches, the carver, and the veggie chopper. And on the kitchenette set, you have the paring knife for the air, the trimmer for small stuff, the meat knife, the serving piece, and the bread knife. And here you have the gourmet set. The gourmet set is for Cutco owners and alternative cuisine. And basically you have the 5 specialty pieces that people like the most. So out of these starter sets, which combination do you like the best? Okay, so the Studio Plus 4, that's a great option. So Miss Jones, the Studio Plus 4 is actually $573, or you can do that on a 5-pay, which would be $117 plus tax. Obviously, you want to write it down, right? So Miss Jones, if you get this today, you can still have the super shears for free. Is that something that you'd be interested in getting today? Okay, still a little bit much? Okay, no problem. Miss Jones, before we go any further, please don't mistake my enthusiasm as being pushy or rude. I just really like Cutco and think everyone should own it, so I want to show you all of your options first. So, Miss Jones, you can customize your own set and I can still get you something for free. Let's make a list of your 5 favorite knives that you see yourself using the most. Okay, the paring knife, great. The trimmer, yeah. What else? The slicer, great. The petite chef, okay. And what else? The butcher, great. Okay, so Miss Jones, let me call my manager to make sure that I can get you the best possible deal on these 5 pieces. Okay, and then you would call your manager, okay. So let's say that I call my manager. So Miss Jones, my manager told me that that would actually be $513, the 5 pieces that you really liked. But what we're gonna do is that we're gonna actually give it to you for $440, or you can do it on 5 payments of $90 plus tax today. Because what we're actually doing is that we're gonna give you the trimmer for free. Okay, and you want to make sure that you write everything down. Okay, so Miss Jones, is that something that you'd be interested in getting today? Okay, still a little bit much? Not a problem. Miss Jones, it sounds like you love Cutco, but now it's just a bad time. We can just reserve your buy now bonus. If you get 1 piece today, you become a Cutco owner. Cutco owners are always eligible for discount and free items in the future. You'll end up saving a ton of money, and at least you'll get to use your favorite piece until then. It also helps me a ton towards my goal, which is your favorite piece. Yeah, the trimmer. Okay, so the trimmer is actually going to be $73, or you can do it on a 2-pay for $38 plus tax. Okay, is that something that you would like to get today? Yeah? Great, Miss Jones, congratulations. You're going to love your Cutco. While I write that up, let's take a look at accessories, right? And then you would show them the accessories pamphlet. So the biggest thing that I want you to take from this video is don't skip any set on the drop-down process, because just because they said that they're not going to buy anything or that they can afford it doesn't mean that we don't have something for them to start their Cutco collection. I hope that answered a lot of your questions, and if you have anything else, just reach out to your manager, or they can put you in contact with me if there's anything else that I can do for you or any other way that I can provide value. Have a great day and happy selling!